Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and I sure did get fooled today. I certainly thought this market was just going to continue down, but it is back to the usual up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down nonsense as they try to whip everybody out before a big move. So what is that big move? Is it to the upside or to the downside? Well, if you look at the charts, then you would probably say that we have probably bottomed and we should run on up. And that is very possible. That is very possible. My gut just tells me there's one more leg down before they turn this thing back up for a big wave 2. I'm still thinking that this wave is, here's a wave 1, a wave 2, a massive wave 3, and I'm still thinking this chop is a sideways wave 4, and that we're getting ready to go down to wave 5 that would complete this and then allow a wave 2 up. And a wave 2 up could be pretty powerful and go anywhere from the low 1220, 1240 all the way up to, all the way up maybe even to 1300. I mean, to somewhere, I really can't guess at that point where that's going to go, but it just doesn't feel like it's done. Seems like there should be one more wave down, but we are getting signals though that that this is bottoming, and several of the signals is very common when you get the death cross, that's when the retail amateurs jump in and go short, and that's when they reverse it and take the market up and steal their money. So we're very, very close to that point because we did hit it today. And there's also I don't know, somebody posted a link showing that retailers are more bearish than anyone right now, bailing out. They're short, so they got to steal their money. So so that's a good possibility. So are we going to come back up again and continue tomorrow? I just don't know. There's just, to me, there's just signs of things that still indicate one more move down, especially this closing candle. We were up here ready to close with a bullish engulfing candle, which would have engulfed this entire move down. You call it a bullish engulfing candle when it closes at the high like that and closes above that previous day. We were up there up until the last like 15 minutes, and then boom, they sold it back down and closed it right there even with it, to where it left you indecision, not knowing whether or not it's going to continue up or continue down. It's just like, okay, which way is it going to do? Are we ready to start our wave 2 up, or do we still have a wave 5 down to go? And to me, I still feel like we got one more push down before we have a big strong rally up. It just doesn't look to me like it can stand right where it's at. Plus we had the ES trade at like 1070 something, in the low 1070s, I forget, at 1070 something back on, it's either this day or this day. Earlier this week it traded at 1070 something. I think when we had that long topping or bottoming tail right there, the next day it traded that night at 1070. I just feel like it's going to retest that area and before it goes back up. We still don't really have positive divergence up. Okay, so this would be the case that I'd like to see, is you're starting to get the turn here. You've got a lower or a higher low on the depth of this bar. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's moving up. Okay, so generally speaking, as it moves up, you're going to have shorter and shorter bars as they move up towards the zero line. So, but at some point, one of these bars, the market is actually going to go down deeper. And so when the market goes down deeper, that puts in your positive divergence. We still don't have that yet. That's why it indicates to me that I think there's one more push down. Just doesn't seem ready to end. I just think this is just a big wave, choppy wave 4. It's just designed to just suck out all the bears and bulls both, and everybody's confused and nobody's, I mean, this is impossible to trade, folks. I mean, when's the last time you've seen 500 point swings in the market? I've never seen it. So It was very, very difficult to trade this. By all accounts, we should have probably just reversed and went on back down one more, but they just, they're manipulating the people out of this. So looking over here at the 60-minute chart, as I said in that little short 5-minute video, I don't know when this thing is going to turn. How much further are they going to push this up before it rolls over? Well, once that daily starts turning and goes back up, this thing will get massively overbought and go way up here, but well above 10, and get massively overbought. But for now, for the short term, as for tomorrow, the full stochastics indicate that they're overbought and they should roll back down and dip back down. This should have one of these days where it just curls over a little bit and this dips down and maybe puts in some negative divergence as the market goes higher. So you would have this try to work its way down, put in a lower high, and maybe then over the course of next week the market would actually go higher and this would actually lose steam until it finally ran out of steam, dropped below negative, and then rolled over. But I'm still puzzled by that sell-off at the end, putting in that topping tail, closing inside this channel, closing right here, not giving any indication that there is a bullish move up. So it still, to me, looks like that we could go down one more leg. So there's still the possibility this could start to roll over tomorrow and gain some momentum and actually go negative. Now that would imply that it would go down here and not only hit this trend line of support, but break on through it and continue on down and do a crash. Again, you could call these crashes and rallies, because these 500-point swings, I mean, those are crashes. But it's possible that it could go down here one more time, take this out and do a fifth wave and go down here and maybe test that ES low or something and then rally up next week, because it just doesn't feel right. The only thing, the other thing is though that this is an upside down W pattern, so it's the same as an MA pattern. Actually, you just flipped in reverse. So if you did it like this and you flip that over, it would be an M. Then you would expect the A would come down here and then go like that. It's what it would do. So the A would come down here and make that one side of the A, and then it would not take out this low here, and it would find support here on a channel and then just run on up the next day. And you could also call that an ABC, move as well, or a 5-wave push. Could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before it gets up here. So tomorrow is just it's up in the air. I'd say we might just end up closing. We might just come down to here, and that's probably about it. I don't think at this point we're going to get a crash, but it is possible. There still are throwing signals out there. As you can see, we're getting up here overbought. We're above 5 here now on the 30-minute chart. So that would imply it would dip down and then maybe go back up. It's overbought here as well, and so it's kind of the same scenario though. You just don't know when it's going to turn. We knew a powerful rally was coming. I didn't expect it today. I actually expected that sell-off to be the rest of it and for it to just continue on down into the fifth wave. But apparently they must have had just way too many people short at this level, and they needed to get them out. So the only way you get them out, you squeeze them, and you go right above where they would have put the stops. Now there's no other place for them to clean stops on. Nobody put stops here or here. I mean, well, not very many. The largest percentage of people would have put overhead stops right here, and they would have been short in the market and put their stops just right above here, and they took them out and then they come right back. That's what's got me puzzled. And then numerology wise, they did close the NASDAQ up 111.63 points. So 6 plus 3 is 9, 111, 911, backwards, possible. It's possible. I don't know. Things are pretty kooky right now in the market. So again, I would like to see some positive divergence here, which means a lower move in the market, a final fifth wave, as this curls up and puts in a higher low on this histogram bar. That will give me a positive divergence, and make this look more complete, because right now it does not look complete. This looks like 1, 2, a massive 3, and then a 4. It's just sitting there. It just doesn't look stable to take off in a wave 2 to me. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'll just have to close out my position tomorrow no matter what, regardless of whether we go down or not, whether we, obviously the 15-minute chart's way overbought here. I'm just showing you that, but regardless of where we go, if we go down here and hit this channel line, I'll probably get out there, unless it looks like we're going to break it. I mean, obviously, if it just like gaps down and really hits it, if it gaps down below that channel line, then we're dropping hard. But if it just opens flat or slightly down, slightly up, and just kind of has a very light volume day and starts rolling back down, I'll be looking for this to see how much volume, how much pressure it's putting on it. If it's not a lot, then probably we'll bounce at that point, and this thing will continue up. It was really oversold. So, and then into next week, we could expect it, even if it dips down tomorrow, we can expect this to run on up higher into next week. So I thought it would have been today that would have rolled over and then kind of worked its way up. I really thought what it would have done here would have been put in a positive divergence on this, not like you do in the histogram bars, but on this, to basically let this thing roll over here, instead of, at this point, instead of running up, roll it over and dip down to here and put in a wave 5 down, and then curl this back up on Monday, and then you could draw a line right there and put in a positive divergence as the market would have went lower. It's not put any divergence in yet. That's the concern. It's this is not any divergence. It's straight up here. There's no divergence here. It's just straight up. We need it to go down and back up. Like there. Here's some divergence, as you can see, and we're not seeing that in the market right now. So that just leads me to believe there'd be one more move down. Regardless, looking at this chart, you can clearly see, if you flip this again upside down, it's a W here, so it would be a W and a small V, I guess, as long as the tip of the V doesn't go below that. So it's the same thing as an MA, which basically it's a back test and then a run higher. And then, of course, the only thing the bears or bulls got to worry about is if it breaks this line. If it breaks this line, then the bears have gained control again, and we're going down the 5th wave. So I really do not know what we're going to do. I don't know at this point. On the RSI, we are going up here and getting into bear or bull territory now. We cleared the 50 line. And we are crisscrossing right here. We got a bullish cross, and the ADX is losing strength. So, even if we do have another move down, it's not likely to have very much strength. So it should definitely be, if we have a move down, an exhaustion 5th wave down, and that's it. And then you'll have your bullish move into next week. So weekly chart still is obviously a concern. It's still pointing down on the weekly. This is not over. As you can see, it looks like they're wanting to close this weekly out above this 200-day moving average at 11.55. So there is a possibility that, even if we dip down tomorrow, by the close, they could get it up above that 11.55 on the 200. And so they're doing everything they can to hold it up. But it is still majorly in bear territory. It is at 33.89 on the relative strength index for the weekly. So I just find it hard to think that it's going to get a whole lot of momentum to the upside, even though it's possible. I just find it hard to believe because there's no positive divergence on this. The weekly is falling down, and we're still getting a lower low on the bars. There's no positive divergence. It is still moving down here. It is still moving down here on the full stochastics. There's no sign of that turning up yet. On the monthly, as you can clearly see, that also like to close it probably above 11.78. Let's refresh that page and see if that's changed. Might have come back up. Of course, that's still a couple of weeks away for the end of the month, but so anything can happen between now and then. But it's funny how that tip just went right there to that 200 moving average on there, 11.02. Tagged it perfectly and come right back. But still, the monthly is still pointing down. The rest of this month, it's got to be down. I cannot see how it can recover when it is falling off a cliff so sharply. So sharply. There's no signs of recovery on a monthly basis. So to me, even if this particular week closes out above this 200 period, any rallies that are into next week, I think will end up just be for options expiration. They want to close it to where it causes the most pain, and it'll be just for options expiration. And then the week after that, we should just see it continue back on down into the end of the month, because that's what I'm thinking is that by the end of the month, this thing drops hard. So tomorrow, again, I still feel like we're going to have a wave 5 down. Might be wrong on that, but at least we should go down here and hit this trend line. If we bust it, then we'll take our wave 5 down and finally have a real capitulation move. Then move up all of next week into OPEX, into options expiration. Then the following week fall back down to complete the end of the month. Following 2 weeks, I guess, because that's let's see, what is how many weeks is there after that? I think this is a long month, ain't it? Let's see, the 19th is OPEX, yeah. So yeah, so you got 8 days there, and here and here and here, yes, to complete this month. I really think it's going to fall off a cliff after they make their rally from here into here. There's a turn date here on Saturday, the 13th. It's a full moon or something like that, I believe. So, but I think it's the 13th. What's this weekend for sure? The meaning that Monday should be the real move up. That's why to me it just feels like maybe tomorrow they just kind of go down here and chop around or whatever, come back up, and then Monday they take off into OPEX, and then that would be and that'd be it. So got that call wrong, folks. So can't win them all. I'm trapped short myself, so. But I will bail on it tomorrow. I am still slightly up, if you can imagine that, after all this moving. But then again, I got it up here somewhere. I don't even remember. It's been such a while back. So, even with all the time decay in options and the volatility, I'm still slightly up. That's amazing. But you can't read them all. This is a hard one to trade. I was really looking for that 5th wave down, and right now it's not looking like we're going to get it. Kind of running out of time unless we get it tomorrow. If we don't get it tomorrow, we're not going to get it. It's just going to be there, and we're going to run up next week. I don't think we're going to get no 5th wave down on Monday. If surprise, when if anything, it's going to happen tomorrow. If not, then we'll toss it out the window, and there is no 5th wave. This was just it. Then we're going up for a wave 2, all of next week, folks. All of next week. Monday, be a little choppy, but by the end of the week, it should be up quite big, because it's OPEX. They want to make all these retail people that are short, that are getting short, all throughout this area. They want all those puts to expire worthless. So that's it. Can't think of anything else, so I'll see everyone on the blog or in the chat room. See you guys. Good luck, everyone.